watching us tonight. Let's get right to our top story. New revelations in the Hillary Clinton email scandal. About 300 pages of emails released Tuesday are raising questions about quid pro quo relationships between Clinton Foundation staffers and Hillary Clinton's State Department. Joining us now with reaction from Washington, Tom Fitton, the president of Judicial Watch, the group which uncovered these new emails. Doug, I mean, we've heard about these emails for most of the day, but again, Doug Band, a top Clinton Foundation official, asking the State Department for access to a Lebanese man, presumably to do business with him, and then this man, Doug Band, says there's a lot of money involved. There's $1 million, somewhere between $1 million and $5 million involved that the Clinton Foundation is going to receive, right?
Yeah, Shigori, the name of the man is Mr. Shigori, and he's a billionaire. He gave between $1 million and $5 million to the Clinton Foundation, committed to $1 billion program associated with the Clinton Global Initiative, which is also part of the foundation. And so the Clinton Foundation's top operative, Doug Band, communicates with Clinton's top aides at the State Department saying he wants to talk to someone, your top guy, about Lebanon. And, you know, he says he's important to us, which translates to most normal people as he's important to us because he's a big donor to us. And so people have raised the issue is, why is it that Mrs. Clinton, who promised to stay out of Clinton Foundation business, almost immediately the Clinton Foundation and her top aides are trying to take care of a Clinton donor?
Now, if you read some of these emails, it sounds like this Doug Band is telling whom Abedin in this instance who's working at the time, at this moment for Hillary Clinton, telling her what he wants her to do. And she's responding saying, yes, I'll do that. I'll get that done. That is the very definition of quid pro quo, especially if you tie in that money, the $1 to $5 million.
Exactly, and Abedin and Cheryl Mills, who was also involved in this process, had been closely associated with the Clinton Foundation. In fact, Abedin later went to work for the foundation while working for the State Department at the same time. So this is working hand in glove, and Mrs. Clinton promised, in order to get it confirmed as the Secretary of State, to keep the Clinton Foundation out of State Department business. And those rules and that promise and that ethics agreement was violated almost immediately.
Can you, Tom, can you lock down these timelines? So there are people are pushing back saying, hey, maybe the time didn't line up right. But these things happened from January of 2009 when Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State during her 4-year term, right?
Yeah, this is all during her term as State Department. She was at the State Department. Doug Band talked to her former colleagues at the State Department from the Clinton Foundation, now at the State Department, to get this favor done for Mr. Shigori. There's also another email where the subject line says, a favor. Someone was seeking a job at the State Department. Band wanted some follow-up on that, and he was told there was follow-up. We don't know if it was a donor or just an associate or a friend, but once again, if you knew the Clinton Foundation, had a friend at the Clinton Foundation, or were a big donor to Clinton Foundation, you got a favor done, which was special access to the upper reaches of Hillary Clinton's State Department.
All right, one more question. Who agreed, who thought would be a good idea, and who agreed, who signed off on whom Abedin being able to work for not only the State Department, but simultaneously work for the Clinton Foundation? I mean, I don't know if it's a conflict or corruption, but someone had to sign off on that, right?
Yeah, later we found the document. We thought initially it was signed by Hillary Clinton because her name is on the form, but Cheryl Mills, her chief of staff, signed it for her. So, again, approved at the upper reaches of the State Department.
Wow. I mean,
and Mills, by the way, later went.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mills, by the way, later went to work for the Clinton Foundation and is now with the foundation.
Honestly, the incestual relationships between these two, there's more to come, I'm guessing. Tom, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Joining us with more on the legal implications of all this, Fox senior judicial analyst Judge Andrew Napolitano. Judge, you're listening to this. We're shaking our heads, going, how much? This is almost textbook. Quid pro quo.
Right. If it weren't so tragic, it would almost be laughable that the right hand permits the left hand to engage in this. What we have here, not only from Tom's work, and by the way, he's a single-handed, dedicated person who exposed all this by filing these Freedom of Information Act lawsuits. What we see here is a regular, consistent pattern of foreign governments, foreign entities, and foreign persons coming to the Clinton State Department and asking for favors. Favors she is lawfully allowed to give, an exemption from this rule, permission to do that, the opportunity to purchase this. And then after the favor is issued, formally, using the formal power that the federal law gives to the Secretary of State, huge contributions are made to the Clinton Foundation, and in some cases, huge speaking fees to Bill Clinton himself, by huge. $750,000, $500,000 to former President Bill Clinton, the husband of the Secretary of State, for a 35-minute speech.
Let me tie that up even further. These things happened after 2009.
Right.
Bill Clinton has not been president for 9 years at that point.
Right.
Yet his speaking fee went from $100,000 to $200,000 up to $500,000 and above 9 years after he left. But it happens to coincide with Hillary Clinton's time, 11 of the 13,
of course,
during her time as
State Department. Because he's not only producing a speech, he's producing some exemption from American federal regulation, or some opportunity in America for these people that are hosting the speech that only his wife can give. Eric, in my view, this is an easier case for the FBI to prove than the email case was. It's easier for the public to understand. It's easier for a jury to understand.
It's circumstantial at this point, Judge, though. I mean, you and I have this idea that, yes, his fee went up double and triple during her time, but is there a smoking gun?
If the DOJ were serious about this, they would indict some of the people who got these favors, and those people would spill the beans on what their negotiations were with Bill and his people, and what their negotiations were with Hillary and her people. This is a very, very serious allegation of public corruption. On top of that, the more of these emails that come out, the more of these emails that she swore under oath 3 times that she surrendered, the more opportunity there is for a future Justice Department to prosecute her for perjury. We know of at least 3 so far. 3 swearings under oath, everything was surrendered. Every day, more things show up that she never surrendered.
Right. Judge, you said something that's jogged my memory. You said the DOJ should open up an investigation. They should indict some of these people. Now, we just went through the DOJ saying they weren't going to indict Hillary because the FBI said the recommendation was not to. Is this going to be another James Comey, yeah, we did an investigation, we'll turn it over to you, DOJ, and Loretta Lynch saying, we're not going to indict?
I'm sorry to say that I fear that. 2 months ago, I did not fear it, because Jim Comey 2 months ago had that stellar, superb, lifelong reputation as a straight shooter, and I'm sorry to tell you, there he is on the screen. I'm sorry to tell you, Eric, this is not new, and I'm not the only one saying this, he no longer has that reputation.
Why is that? There are a lot of good FBI agents working on these cases.
There are great FBI agents. These are the people in the field. They are very unhappy with the decisions of the Justice Department, their bosses, or of Director Comey, their ultimate boss, not to bring this information to a grand jury.
And so he takes the information, says, did a lot of work. I probably have enough here to recommend an indictment by the DOJ, and chooses somehow not to. What's the motivation there?
To elect Hillary Clinton president, not on Jim Comey's part, but on the part of the higher-ups in the DOJ. Look, this meeting with Bill Clinton and Loretta Lynch at the Phoenix airport.
Comey, though.
This
was
not an
Everyone loved James Comey.
Correct.
Everyone said he's, like you just said, he's an honest, straightforward, great lawmaker. He's the top cop in the FBI. What's going on?
I am as frustrated with you as you. Not with you. Forgive me. I'm as frustrated as you are, Eric, trying to figure out what happened, and I don't know. We may not know until the history of these times is written.
Judge, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.